Hi everybody, here's little Barney with his baby sister Jasmine. She's here at last. I'm going to have to make this a brief video. I'll come back and talk about things in greater detail when I have more time and when I'm fully recovered. So I'll just show you the wee woman. This is Jasmine here. She was born on Saturday the 13th of May, 5 pounds 2 ounces. It was a very, very traumatic birth for both me and her, and it has left both me and her with health complications. Um, Briefly, the midwife was not qualified to do her job, and my labour was a complete disaster. Both me and my child suffered unnecessarily um, at the hands of a certain midwife at Antrim Area Hospital. At one stage, we thought that I wasn't going to make it. Um, Briefly, what happened was I managed to birth Jasmine on nothing else but gas and air, which I'm very proud of. I did stay calm and relaxed. Um, First of all, they left me too long. Jasmine's head was coming down the birth canal sideways. They left me too long before they got a consultant in to turn her head. As a result of that, Jasmine was born with a squash nose, a cone-shaped head. She has a deformed ear, and when she got the hearing test done, they couldn't pick up any hearing in her left ear. So she has to go for further investigation into that. Um, then the next thing that happened, my contractions started to slow down, so they put up the syntocin, but that didn't really seem to help either. I was absolutely exhausted. I had birthed her for 14 hours, and believe you me, it was 14 long, hard hours. The next thing that happened was then they had me spread every shape of my legs for every road to try and get her out. Started coming with forceps and different things, which I wasn't overly pleased about. Um, Eventually, then I managed to get her head out, um, but my contractions basically, I think I must have been pushing when there was no contractions. It was totally unnecessary. So I eventually did get her out, and after that, the I was supposed to get an injection to push out the placenta, which I didn't get. They decided to manually remove it. There was the sister, and then there was the midwife. The midwife went to manually remove my placenta, and she snapped my umbilical cord off it, spraying blood all over the place, all around the room. I lost a terrible amount of blood. They were talking about a blood transfusion at one point. The blood narrowly missed. Poor David, who did manage to cut the cord, I'm proud to say, he was sitting feeding Jasmine at the time, and he got up and he looked. Um, Actually, sorry. Before that, she had to cut me open to allow Jasmine's head to come through, and the midwife had never done an episiotomy before. That's how competent she is. So I was supposed to have been cut with a scalpel. The sister was supervising her, and instead the midwife cut me open with scissors, and she made a queer butcher of a job down there, let me tell you. And I am paying for it, big time. Um, so after that, there was a lot of blood lost. The consultant had to be rushed in to check to make sure that there was no bits of placenta left in my womb. He couldn't see because there was too much blood, but he said that there was nothing there. Um, so the midwife kind of started panicking because she had to stitch me up, and again, she didn't know how to stitch me up either. So after everything that I'd already been through, before getting stitched up, you'd have thought that the sister who knew how to do it, and she saw how stressed out, and I was a first time mum, she would have stitched me up within minutes. But no, they let me sit there for an hour in agony. I wasn't even froze down there, and the midwife that butchered me open, she butchered me closed. So that was fine. They talked about a blood transfusion. I was supposed to get antibiotics, didn't get them. There was a lot of things wrote in my notes that weren't true at the time of the birth. There was a lot of things that weren't wrote in my notes that should have been recorded in my notes that I later got blamed for, to do with Jasmine when the community midwife came out. For example, there was a bruise on Jasmine's foot were the midwife that delivered Jasmine, um, the same one that butchered me, because I'm rhesus anti-D. Jasmine's the same as me, so I didn't need my anti-D injection, but she didn't sign her signature in the form. So poor Jasmine had to go through blood tests, and they had to do both hands and her foot, um, to give the blood bank, documentation, written documentation, that she was the same as me, because they wouldn't accept it verbally. The poor child cried the hospital down, and then the hospital didn't bother writing in my notes that the bruise on her foot was from those blood tests. My community midwife came out and she started blaming me for it. So it has been a very, very stressful time. I got home on the Monday, and I was no sooner home when I became very, very ill. And my community midwife sent me to the hospital, and it's a good job she did, because she probably saved my life. I took a serious infection down there after the midwife butchered me open and closed. It's far from over. I was on constant IV drips day and night. At one stage on Wednesday night, they were testing me for a blood infection, and I know how serious that is, as my mother nearly died from one when she also had a traumatic birth with my brother 20 years ago. So I knew I was in danger of slipping away on Wednesday night. But thankfully, thanks to my community midwife, it was caught early and I've been treated. Unfortunately, things are far from over for me and Jasmine. As I say, she has to go and see about her facial features. And I too have to go back to the hospital tomorrow, as I may have to be restitched down there, because if it's not closing over properly because of her butchering job. So I'm well within my rights to make a claim. Both David and my birth partner Sheena were absolutely raging. At one stage, Sheena had to walk out of the delivery room, otherwise she was going to deck the midwife. My poor partner David, he said it was like something out of a horror film. The blood everywhere, and the state of me down there. Um, the state of me down there is just truly shocking. Um, when I eventually did get home then last Thursday, I was very stressed out, very worried about different things, and looking after Jasmine. I couldn't bond with her properly. While I was in hospital for those days, Jasmine wasn't allowed with me. I was separated from her, and my poor partner David then was through in at the deep end with a little baby to care for, and things got very stressful for him. But thankfully, our family and friends have rallied round us. People we didn't even think, would have helped us, have rallied round us, and they're still rallying round us, because I'm still finding things very hard. David now goes back to work next week, and it's just me and Jasmine. So I have to try and be calm and relaxed. Um, at the minute, I'm beginning to enjoy looking after her, and things aren't going too bad with regards to looking after her. The only thing is the lack of sleep. Last night I only got 3 hours. Don't really mind doing nights, because I used to do nights at a nursing home, so I'm used to that, but I really do find it hard sleeping during the day. So at the minute, coffee's kind of been my best friend, but I would appreciate all prayers. Especially for me going back to the hospital tomorrow. I'm praying I don't need restitched, but looking at the state of down there, there's a fairly, I reckon I will need restitched. I don't think they'll do it tomorrow. I think they'll bring me back, and I'm going to plead with my consultant to put me to sleep for it, because there's no way I can be awake for it again, even if I'm frozen. No, I'm sorry, I can't. I would want to be asleep for it. Do you know what I mean? So I've had a very traumatic, stressful time. All prayers are appreciated, and I just wanted to come on and show you that she is finally here. But as I say, I don't know when I'll be able to do any more videos with her or anything, because I just I just need to take time to recover from everything that has happened, and for me and Jasmine just to find our way with each other and things like that once we get into a routine and stuff, and I'm less stressed and worried about things and whatnot. Everything will be all right, and I'll come back on then with another um another update, another video. Some of you that are on my Facebook will already have seen pictures of Jasmine, but I just wanted to show you that she was indeed here. Saturday the 13th of May which for those of you that's familiar with Northern Ireland, that's the Northwest 200 Day, and I had a funny feeling that she was going to come that day, you know. Um, so yes, she's here and she's lovely and she's a good baby. She's going through a growth spurt at the minute, so she's a little gurney at the moment. But all in all now, since I've come home, we're not doing too bad, and hopefully I won't have to be put through that again or separated from her again for long, with regards to possible surgery down there. So just thought you'd like to see her. And Barney adores her, absolutely adores her. And funny enough, the cat, we thought the cat was going to be funny with her, but he's not. He comes over and has a look at her too, and goes on about his business. He kind of ignores her more so, but Barney loves her. When she cries and she's in the Moses basket, Barney comes over to see if she's all right. When I'm doing her bottle or winding her, Barney comes over and he'll sniff her cheek, and then he lies down and cuddles in beside the two of us. So he absolutely adores her. So I'm very, very lucky, and I'm truly blessed to have wonderful family and friends that have rallied around me and David at this very difficult time, you know. So that's her, my little munchkin. I don't want to disturb her because she didn't sleep very well last night. We've got 30 degrees weather over here at the minute, and I live in one of the tin fabricated houses. Now, it's lovely and cool in here this morning, as you can see, but come 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this house heats up like all that, and we had to get the fan down from the attic last night, to try and cool down this room, because I didn't want her getting too warm. Too warm's worse than being too cold, you know. So I think she was a wee bit gurney because of that, but she's also going through a growth spurt, and she has managed to gain weight again, back up till her birth weight, so she's back up to 5'2", and the midwives and everything is very pleased with her. You know, she's making really good progress despite being, you know, so small, and the complications that we suffered during our labour. So me and hers had a tough start, but we'll get there eventually. You know, so I will be back on at some stage whenever I have fully recovered and I'm less stressed, but I just thought I would let you see her. And she's got the most gorgeous blue eyes. David thinks she looks like me, and I think she looks like him, and everybody else thinks she looks like him, but he thinks she looks like me because she has my forehead, and he thinks she's my eyes and nose, and she's my facial expressions. She puts her one eyebrow up, and she wrinkles her forehead, so she does. So he thinks she's like me. But there you go, that's her. She's here. She was definitely worth it, but unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, I definitely will not be going through that again. Not a chance. And with the way things are down there anyway, you know, I'm sure you get my drift. What I mean, it's a right mess. You just wouldn't recognize it, you know. And every person that examined me could not believe how badly butchered I am down there, and how badly bruised and swollen I am. I couldn't sit, lie, nothing. It's only this last while, after getting the antibiotics, after coming home last Thursday, or Thursday past really, because I haven't been home that long. I've only been home maybe about a week or so. It's only now that things are beginning to ease a bit down there for me. So, you know, fingers crossed it won't need restitched, but I know what it looks like down there, and it definitely will need restitched. But yes, all prayers are welcome, and that's Miss Jasmine, my little munchkin, and nothing fits her. Well, Prem was sort of okay on her. Tiny baby fits her, but you can't get tiny baby over here, so at the minute she's wearing newborn, and I'm having to roll up sleeves and everything. Had to roll up her trousers this morning. She has the same problem as me. She can't keep her trousers up. So she's wearing a wee tatty top. It's a light one, and wee light tatty trousers, which I had to kind of roll over to keep them on her. So I'm only really getting round to having visitors now. So I'm having one visitor this morning, and then my other sister's coming over on Saturday. You know, so I will keep you posted. But yeah, that's what happened, and I hope you are all keeping well, and I shall hopefully be back on soon with more videos of this gorgeous girl with her eyes open. She loves going underneath her play mat. She loves getting a wee massage with baby oil, and she likes being in her bouncer. She is a very alert baby. So she is very alert, because God love her, when she was sitting drinking her milk on David's knee and I was being stitched up. Now, the stitching up was the worst part of labour for me. The worst part of labour. Um, you know, and I felt absolutely every cut and tear that she made. And up until then, I had been as quiet as a mouse, and I started screaming and puffing like mad on the gas and air. And Sheena was holding my hand, and they told me to look at the baby, and I couldn't look at her. But she was looking at me. Every scream, she turned her head round while she was drinking her bottle, and she was looking towards my voice. But I couldn't look at her. The pain was just too much. So anyway, I shall go, because this is long enough. It will take a while to upload, and Madam will be due another feed, burp and change soon. And she's a little farter, so she doesn't do many burps. She farts, but apparently babies farting is much better than them bringing up burps, because the farting means that there won't be any trapped wind in their belly. So you can hear her farting away. I don't know whether you can now, but you can hear her farting away in the Moses basket. So you can, and she farts away when she's in your arms and all the rest. It's quite funny. Every visitor that has come for a cuddle, they've been farted on. So there you go. That's my little baby, my little miracle baby, and it'll be the only miracle baby that I'll have. So so that's her. She's here, and we'll talk to you all again soon. And there's wee Barney's taking my seat as usual. All right. Bye everybody. Take care. God bless.